Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of That 70s Show, the beloved sitcom that took us on a hilarious journey through the groovy era. Now, as much as we love the cast's chemistry on screen, life has its twists and turns. And sadly, we've lost some of the incredible actors who brought these characters to life. In this video, we'll be paying tribute to the stars of That 70s Show who have left us. We'll reminisce about their contributions to the show and remember the joy they brought to fans around the world. So grab your bell-bottoms and get ready for a trip down memory lane as we celebrate the lives and talents of the That 70s Show actors who are no longer with us. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our nostalgic content. Now let's honor the memories of those who made That 70s Show truly unforgettable. Join us in remembering these stars as we explore the lives of the That 70s Show actors who left us too soon. Stay tuned. Tanya Roberts. In 1998, Roberts embraced the character of Midge Pinciotti in the TV sitcom That 70s Show. While on a hike on December 23, 2020, Roberts experienced lower intestinal discomfort and breathing difficulties. She headed home to recuperate. The next morning, she toppled out of bed and discovered she couldn't rise. Rushed to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, medical examinations revealed a urinary tract infection that had progressed to sepsis. Her body's immune reaction to the infection led to multi-organ failure, necessitating the use of a ventilator. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, her boyfriend, Lance O'Brien, couldn't visit her. Unfortunately, her health declined, and on January 3, 2021, life support was withdrawn. Only then was O'Brien permitted to see her. She passed away on the evening of January 4th at 71. In a handwritten will, Roberts bequeathed her estate to O'Brien. Tanya Roberts, born Victoria Lee Bloom in 1949, though often cited as 1955, in Manhattan, New York City, to Oscar Blum and Dorothy. Oscar Maximilian Bloom, born in New York City, was the son of Theodore Bloom, recognized as America's eminent oral surgeon for pioneering work in local anesthesia and X-rays in dental care. Theodore, born in Vienna, Austria, immigrated to New York in 1904. Roberts started as a model in TV commercials for Excedrin, Ultra Bright, Clairol, and Cool Ray sunglasses. She tackled serious roles in off-Broadway plays like Picnic and Antigone, all while supporting herself as an Arthur Murray dance instructor. Her film debut occurred in The Last Victim, 1975, followed by the comedy The Yum Yum Girls, 1976. In 1977, as Barry Roberts was establishing his screenwriting career, the couple relocated to Hollywood. In the summer of 1980, Roberts emerged from a pool of 2,000 candidates to replace Shelley Hack in the 5th season of the detective series Charlie's Angels. Portraying Julie Rogers, a street-smart fighter, Roberts was anticipated to revive the series' waning ratings and rejuvenate media interest. Before the season premiered, Roberts graced the cover of People magazine, questioning whether she could rescue the declining series from cancellation. Roberts took on the role of Bond girl and geologist Stacy Sutton in A View to a Kill, 1985, alongside Roger Moore, originally intended for Priscilla Presley. Following this portrayal, Roberts earned her second Razzie Award nomination. In the 1980s, her film repertoire included Night Eyes, an erotic thriller; Body Slam, 1987, an action-packed venture set in the professional wrestling realm, another cult favorite; and Purgatory, a film revolving around a woman wrongly imprisoned in Africa. Towards the end of the decade, Roberts provided reference footage for The Legend of Zelda, utilized by producers in the creation of the animated adaptation. Married to Barry Roberts from 1974 until his passing in 2006, the couple didn't have children. Roberts currently resides in Hollywood Hills, California, and subsequently became the partner of Lance O'Brien after her husband's death. Her sister, Barbara Chase, was married to Timothy Leary. Roberts contributed the foreword to the Q Guide to Charlie's Angels, 2008. Described by her publicist as an advocate for animal rights, Roberts maintained an active social media presence during the COVID-19 pandemic, engaging in video chats on Facebook and Zoom. Gavin MacLeod. Gavin MacLeod portrayed Smitty in That 70s Show. He passed away at his residence in Palm Desert, California on May 29, 2021, at the age of 90. Alan George C., born in Mount Kisco, New York, had Margaret C., his middle school dropout mother, working for Reader's Digest, and George C., an electrician and part Chippewa, as his father. His younger brother, Ronald, was 3 years his junior. Growing up in Pleasantville, New York, MacLeod pursued acting at Ithaca College, earning a bachelor's degree in fine arts in 1952. At 26, MacLeod made his television debut in 1957 on The Walter Winchell File. His first film appearance was an uncredited role in The True Story of Lynn Stewart in 1958. Blake Edwards noticed him and cast him in various roles, including the pilot episode of Peter Gunn and 2 guest spots on the CBS series Mr. Lucky in 1959. MacLeod's breakthrough came with Operation Petticoat, a 1959 Navy comedy starring Cary Grant and Tony Curtis. Subsequently, he appeared in 2 other Edwards comedies, High Time with Bing Crosby and The Party with Peter Sellers. In 2010, the Love Boat cast, excluding MacLeod recovering from back surgery, reunited for the TV Land Awards. Ted Lang, a former co-star and friend, received word of MacLeod's well-being. MacLeod later made a guest appearance as a narrator with the Florida Orchestra and Master Chorale of Tampa Bay in December. After converting to evangelical Christianity in 1987 and remarrying, MacLeod, along with his wife Patty, shared his struggles with alcoholism and divorce in Back on Course, the remarkable story of a divorce that ended in remarriage. In 2013, MacLeod released his memoir, This Is Your Captain Speaking, My Fantastic Voyage Through Hollywood, Faith and Life, where he reflected on his experiences as a young actor in Hollywood, lifelong friendships, battles with alcoholism, divorce, and faith, aiming to inspire others with his journey. While employed as a guide and elevator operator at Radio City Music Hall, MacLeod crossed paths with dancer Joan F. Rutvik, a member of the Rockettes. They wed in 1955 and welcomed 2 sons and 2 daughters before their divorce in 1972. MacLeod entered a union with Patty Kendig in 1974, and despite divorcing in 1982, they remarried in 1985. Embracing evangelical Protestantism during the mid-1980s, they attributed their renewed connection to their newfound faith. On September 20, 2009, MacLeod shared insights into his shift to evangelicalism at the Rock Church in Anaheim, California, and returned as a guest speaker in 2012. James Avery. James Avery has had numerous television appearances, and he also portrayed Officer Kennedy in the Police Academy during the later part of the That 70s Show series. Actor James Avery, renowned for his role as Uncle Phil on the popular 1990s sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, has passed away, as announced by his publicist on Wednesday. He was 68. The cause of death was complications arising from open-heart surgery, according to his manager, Tony Benson. Avery underwent surgery on November 11th and passed away on Tuesday evening at a hospital in Glendale, California, as reported by Benson. Avery featured in various TV shows and movies, including CSI, That 70s Show, The Closer, and made several appearances as a judge on L.A. Law. With his resonant, deep voice, he often portrayed judges, professors, and doctors. Uncle Phil initially started as a lawyer and eventually became a judge, and was highly sought after as a voice actor. His voice roles included Shredder in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series and James Rhodey Rhodes in the 1990s animated series version of Iron Man. His most recent appearance was in Zach Braff's latest film, Wish I Was Here, set to premiere at the Sundance Film Festival later this month. However, his most iconic role remains on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which aired from 1990 to 1996. The show, co-executive produced by Quincy Jones and created by Andy Borowitz and Susan Borowitz, cast Smith, then primarily known as a rapper, as a Philadelphia teenager sent to live with his affluent Los Angeles relatives. As Banks, a former civil rights activist and Harvard law-trained attorney, Avery served as a role model for Smith's occasionally unruly character. In 1988, Avery tied the knot with his partner Barbara. Barbara served as the Dean of Student Life at Loyola Marymount University. Although he had no biological children, he was a stepfather to Barbara's son, Kevin Waters. Avery Fest, an annual African-American cultural and music festival held in the United States, is named in honor of James Avery. The inaugural event took place on September 2, 2023, in Avery's hometown of Suffolk, Virginia. The festival, held at Bennett's Creek Park each year, is just minutes away from the Pewsville neighborhood, where Avery was born. In 2023, the first year of the festival, special guest appearances were made by Avery's wife, Barbara Avery, his TV wife from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, actress Daphne Maxwell Reid, and a special jazz spotlight in memory of Avery, who had a deep appreciation for jazz music. Mary Tyler Moore. Moore made a guest appearance as Christine St. George, the high-strung host of a fictional TV show, in 3 episodes of the Fox sitcom That 70s Show. Moore passed away at the age of 80 on January 25, 2017, at Greenwich Hospital in Greenwich, Connecticut, due to cardiopulmonary arrest complicated by pneumonia after being placed on a ventilator the week before. Moore was born on December 29, 1936, in the Brooklyn Heights neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York City, New York, to Marjorie and George Tyler. Moore. Her father was a clerk. Her Irish Catholic family resided in Brooklyn's Flatbush neighborhood. The Moores later lived in a rented apartment at 144-16 35th Avenue in Flushing, Queens, New York City. She was the eldest of 3 siblings, with a younger brother John and a younger sister Elizabeth. Moore's paternal great-grandfather, Confederate Lieutenant Colonel Lewis Tilghman Moore, owned the house that is now the Stonewall Jackson's Headquarters Museum in Winchester, Virginia. When Moore was 8 years old, the family moved to Los Angeles, California, on the recommendation of her uncle, an employee of MCA. Raised Catholic, Moore attended St. Rose of Lima Parochial School in Brooklyn until the 3rd grade. In Los Angeles, Moore attended St. Ambrose School and Immaculate Heart High School in the Los Feliz neighborhood. In 1961, Carl Reiner cast Moore in The Dick Van Dyke Show, a weekly series based on Reiner's own life and career as a writer for Sid Caesar's television variety show Your Show of Shows, informing the cast that it would run for no more than 5 years. The show was produced by Danny Thomas's company, and Thomas himself suggested her. He remembered Moore as the girl with 3 names, whom he had rejected earlier. At age 18 in 1955, Moore married her next-door neighbor, 28-year-old cranberry juice salesman Richard Meeker, and within 6 weeks she was pregnant with her only child, Richard Carlton Meeker Jr., born on July 3, 1956. Meeker and Moore divorced in 1962. Later that year, Moore married Grant Tinker, a CBS executive and later chairman of NBC. And in 1969, they founded the television production company MTM Enterprises, which developed and produced the company's inaugural television series, The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Moore wed 29-year-old heart specialist Robert Levine on November 23, 1983, at the Pierre Hotel in New York City. They encountered each other in 1982 when he cared for Moore's mother in New York City during a weekend home visit following Moore and her mother's trip to the Vatican, where they had a private meeting with Pope John Paul II. Moore and Levine stayed married for 34 years until her passing in 2017. Tom Poston. Tom Poston portrays Kitty Foreman's father, Bert Sigurdsson, on That 70s Show. After a short illness, Poston passed away from respiratory failure on April 30th, 2007, in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 85. He predeceased Plachette by 9 months. Poston was born in Columbus, Ohio, to George and Margaret Poston. His father worked as a liquor salesman and dairy chemist. After completing high school, Poston attended Bethany College in West Virginia, but did not complete his degree. During his time there, he joined the Sigma Nu fraternity. He joined the United States Army Air Forces in 1941. After being accepted to officer candidate school and graduating from flight training, Poston served as a pilot in the European theater during World War II, dropping paratroopers for the Normandy invasion. Despite his expanding television career covering nearly 5 decades, Poston faced an interesting twist. When Mel Brooks proposed his idea for Get Smart to the ABC network, they desired Poston for the lead role of Maxwell Smart. When ABC passed on the show, NBC picked it up, and the lead role went to Don Adams. Nevertheless, Poston made a guest appearance on the show as a chaos villain. He also appeared in Thriller during its second season in 1961. The episode, titled Masquerade, was the 6th and starred Elizabeth Montgomery. Poston first married Doris Sword in 1949, but they later divorced. He then married Jean Sullivan in 1955, and they had a daughter, Francesca, born 1956. Poston and Sullivan announced their separation in 1959 and finalized their divorce 2 years later. In the spring of 1961, Poston began dating Kai Hudson when she was 17 and he was 39. They married in 1968 and had 2 children, son Jason Poston, born 1969, and daughter Hudson Poston, born 1972. Despite divorcing in 1976, they remarried in 1980 and remained together until her death at age 54 in 1998 from ALS. In 2001, Poston married actress Suzanne Plachette, who portrayed the wife of Bob Hartley on The Bob Newhart Show. This marked his 4th marriage and her 3rd. Plachette and Poston briefly dated in 1959 and rekindled their relationship in 2000. Lisa Robin Kelly portrayed Lori Foreman, the elder sibling of Eric Foreman, on That 70s Show. She abruptly departed the show midway through the 3rd season, and her character was written out, citing attendance at beauty school. She made a comeback in the 5th season for 4 episodes, but was eventually replaced by Christina Moore in the 6th season. Kelly first appeared in the 1992 Married with Children episode titled Kelly Doesn't Reside Here Anymore. She made subsequent appearances in 1994 on Silk Stockings, the X-Files episode Syzygy from its 3rd season, and on Charmed in 1999. Additionally, she featured in direct-to-video and television films such as Amityville Dollhouse, Late Last Night, and the theatrical film Jawbreaker. In August 2010, Kelly encountered legal trouble in North Carolina, facing a charge of driving while impaired. By November 2010, she pleaded guilty, received fines, and was sentenced to 12 months of unsupervised probation. On March 31, 2012, Kelly faced a felony charge of corporate injury upon a spouse and was released on $10,000 bail. The charge stemmed from a complaint filed by her former boyfriend, John Mikas. She publicly asserted that she was the victim of assault, refuting Mikas's claim of her assaulting him. The Los Angeles County District Attorney chose not to press charges. In November 2012, authorities in Mooresville, North Carolina, arrested the 42-year-old Kelly and her 61-year-old husband, Robert Joseph Gilliam, following a disturbance at their residence. Both faced assault charges and were released on bond. Kelly later initiated divorce proceedings and sought a restraining order against Gilliam. On June 23, 2013, Kelly faced another arrest for suspected DUI, responding to law enforcement's call about her parked car obstructing a lane on the I-5 freeway. She subsequently failed a field sobriety test. We've explored a vast array of topics, from the depths of science and technology to the heights of creativity and imagination. Together, we've delved into the realms of history, literature, and everything in between. It's been a fascinating journey of discovery, and I've been honored to be your guide. Here's to another year of curiosity, growth, and shared experiences. Thank you for being an essential part of this journey. I look forward to what the future holds for us.